Why are so many men invisible today? Why does the average man feel invisible to society? This is a huge problem and it's not getting enough attention, and that's why I want to talk about it here today. So there was this experiment done where this very successful, good-looking man takes this girl out on a date, and they walk into the restaurant and he says, "Look around." He says, "How many men are in this room?" So she looks around and she says, "I only count two. You and then another gentleman who was at the table next to us on a date." He said, "No, I count 10. Look again." She looks around and she's like, "You see 10 men here? I only see two, you and him." He said, "I'll show you the 10 right now. You ignored the 3 waiters right there. You ignored the 2 barbacks over there. You ignored the 4 cooks in the back. You ignored the manager." And she pauses and she's like, "Oh my gosh, you're right. I didn't see them." And that is reflective of a lot of men. They feel invisible. They feel like they're not being seen by, 1, women, 2, society, in the workplace. They feel like their voice isn't being heard. And why is that? I have 3 reasons. 1, neglecting metamorphosis. Number 2, I call it the finish line complication. And number 3, the mind to matter mindset. Let's talk about my experience. I felt invisible in a period of my life. Right now, I'm very fortunate that things are going my way. I have a great tribe around me, a great family, great support system. In high school, I was considered what you would say popular. But my freshman year of college, that's when I felt invisible. I had a lot going for me in high school. Class president, captain of the football team, a lot of awards, a lot of things, captain of the lacrosse team. And then I go to college. I'm used to having a lot of attention. I'm used to having a lot of friends. I'm used to having a lot of people come up to me. And when I go to college, man, I just felt like a number. I just felt like a face in a pack, just an NPC. And I remember going out to college parties, right? And no one would look my way. I would not get any attention. I'm a freshman. I would not get any attention from women. And see, the thing is, with all people, we love ourselves. We have egos. So in our mind, we know that we're amazing. But sometimes we might not get that treatment from other people. And we're like, no, I'm a good person. Like, why aren't you giving me that respect? Why aren't you giving me that treatment? Well, they don't know that. I remember not getting the respect from upperclassmen that I thought I deserved. So I know what it's like. I know what it's like to be invisible. A lot of my good friends right now are invisible. They're invisible to women. They're invisible to the job market. They're invisible to society. And this is a big danger right here. This is a big threat to society because people who create mass terror are typically lonely. They're dangerous to society. Men who are not getting attention are dangerous to society. And as a society, as a collective, we need to come together, show compassion, show empathy. So let's talk about what I call neglecting metamorphosis. So you remember in 3rd grade when they taught us about the butterfly. First, he starts off as a caterpillar, then he goes into the cocoon and he becomes a beautiful butterfly. That process is called metamorphosis. You might be going through a process where you're either in metamorphosis or you haven't started metamorphosis, where society can notice you as the amazing person that you are. You haven't gone through the process yet for society to notice how amazing you are, how great of a human being you are, because you haven't gone through that process yet. You're still a caterpillar. You're still slow. You're not that beautiful butterfly yet. I'm home for the holidays right now, and I'm seeing a lot of my peers, and I'm seeing people I went to high school with. I moved away. I moved to Miami. I moved out of Connecticut to Miami. And right now, time tells the truth. Time will either promote you or time will either expose you. It's getting to the point now where it's undeniable who's been putting in the work and who hasn't. You know, you see some of your peers and you're like, yo, he got fat. Like, he used to be a stud. I've been seeing a lot of my peers and I can just see the anxiety in their face, the angst. They can't look you in the eye when they're having a conversation. They're just so in their head, and I get that. I've been there before. And it's getting to the point where those who are on their purpose, who are on their mission, you can tell that they've been working on themselves. You can tell that they've been working on their business. You can tell they've been working on their mindset, on their relationships. So how do you get into that metamorphosis? You need to change up your environment. If you're going through it right now, change up your environment, because the environment you're in right now reinforces the same behaviors, the same thought patterns, and the same experience that you've been going through. In order to get something that you've never had, you need to do something that you never did. I was talking to one of my buddies recently, and he told me he was up till 4 a.m. in the morning, couldn't sleep, right? I've been there before. And what I think was his subconscious, his higher self was telling him he needs to change up the scenery. He needs to change up the environment. He needs to get on his purpose and do stuff, because an idle mind is the devil's playground. When you're not on your mission, your higher self is like, yo, I don't like where I'm at. It's telling you that you need to change. Depression is telling you need to change. Anxiety is telling you to change something up. So when I moved to Miami, I had this big glow up. I blossomed. I made a lot of great friends. Every weekend, I walk around Miami Beach and I call them social reps. I'll walk around and I just try to strike up conversation with random people. I want to practice the art of the conversation. So it's really good for me. When I'm home, people just kind of look my way. They can pick up on the gravitational field that I give off. They're like, oh, wow, like he's been working on himself. So the biggest hack to get into that metamorphosis is change up your environment. This is your sign to move out of your hometown, to go to a new city, to go to a new country, because there's such great character development. It's a fresh start. You're in a new environment, which brings about new thoughts, that creates new experiences, that leads to new breakthroughs. When you change up that environment, you'll become the butterfly. If you don't change up that environment, you're neglecting metamorphosis and you're staying at that caterpillar state. But to get to that beautiful butterfly, change up your environment. It will force you to grow as a person. Number 2, this is the reason why I think so many men are invisible. There is this conflict of the finish line complications. As men, a lot of our value comes from the value that we can provide to the world. And subsequently, with that, you need to be complete. One of the big struggles, especially when it comes to the dating market, a lot of men are single today because they aren't signaling what in general women are looking for. As men, we need to come to the table who are in good shape, who's emotionally intelligent, who's spiritually tapped in, who's financially responsible, who has financial resources, who has status, who has respect from his peers, and who has a plan. That's hard. That is hard to get there. But it's not impossible. And just naturally, because of biology, not everybody can be a winner. Society pretty much is a game of survival every single day. The most primitive level of life is to survive. I've said this before, winning solves all problems. So the more that you win, the more that you can signal security into stability to a potential partner, because this is a game of survival. So if you're not winning, no one looks your way. If you're still becoming, if you're still in the process, it's hard to attract that partner. Let's talk about the job market. This is where school did us wrong. In school, you come to class, you sit down, the teacher gives you the assignment, and then holds your hand to make sure you understand and comprehend that. So as you progress, you go from each grade, that's the same formula, and then it's time to get a job. And subconsciously, I think people just assume that their employer is going to tell them what to do. But if you're an employer, think of having a boss mindset, right? You don't want to hold somebody's hand. You're hiring them for them to do the job, not you. Me and my buddies who all have businesses, we talk about this. You have to have the figure it out ability, right? When you have the figure it out ability, you signal to the world that you are special, that you're onto something, that you have the answers. And people are always looking for people who have the answers. That's another thing. If you have the answers, people will flock towards you. And then this is another thing my little brother and I would talk about this. If you say it with enough confidence, it's true. If you say it with enough confidence, it's true. Have you ever heard of the saying, fake it till you make it? Now, I'm not encouraging you to fake anything. I like to put it this way. Commit now, figure out the rest later, right? Have people buy into your vision. You don't know all the X's and O's to get there, but you have the vision. So you're going to figure it out on the way. You'll figure out the process while you're in the process. You don't need to share, I don't have it all figured out. Just know that you're confident about the vision and the destination. Follow me, I'm going to get us there. And then you figure it out on the fly. Confidence is one of the best energies in the universe. When you're confident, men want to be you and women want to be with you. A way to outsmart being invisible to society is be confident. Me and my brother, we talk about this, walk into the room effect. When you walk into a room, are people aware of your presence? When you walk around with determination, people are going to want to buy into you. People are going to want to be a part of your journey. They want a seat at the table when you are determined. Now, the third reason why I think so many men are invisible, it's that mindset. The mindset is the most powerful tool we have. There's gonna be so many things that are out of our control. We're gonna deal with heartbreak. People are gonna leave us. We're gonna lose loved ones. Our friends are gonna betray us. We're gonna get fired. But the one power that we have, the one greatest tool is my mindset. When you're alone and you're in sync with yourself, it's me and me versus the world, you're gonna be all right. You're going to figure it out. So I was thinking about this girl that I went to school with, and unfortunately she passed away. She passed away at a young age in a car crash, and I was just thinking about her, and I was like, me and her were never best of friends, but we knew each other. And I'm like, why did we know each other? I'm just going down the rabbit hole. And everybody knew her. And you know what it was she inserted herself as the main character. She had main character energy, but it wasn't right off the bat where everybody was looking her way, but she just inserted herself. And that's something that you can do. Insert yourself as the main character. I remember a time me and my buddies were all riding bicycles and we go to this pizzeria. We all get slices of pizza. And we're 12 years old and we're all just kind of like, where should we go? Let's do this. We were so indecisive. And I remember like this older man came in, right? And he probably saw himself in us. And so he starts talking to us and he's like, yo guys, he basically said, stop acting so indecisive. Who's the leader, right? We all paused and looked around at each other. And I said, I'm the leader, right? And he's like, okay, you're the leader. You say we're gonna do X, Y, and Z and follow me, right? But that moment of pause when I said I'm the leader, at the time, there was a few different leaders, but there was really no one distinguished leader. But that was the moment where I was like, yo, you can do that? I can just declare myself the leader. I can just declare myself the main character. I can just declare myself as him, as one of the chosen ones. Yes, you can. And that's the thing right there. It's a mindset. You might feel invisible, but reprogram your mindset that, no, I am the main character. If you made it to the end of the video, I appreciate you. Hey, listen, everything's gonna be all right. We're gonna get through it. If you like my content, please help me grow my channel so I can get this message out to the masses by hitting the subscribe button, liking this video, share it with a friend, and please check out my next video. Until next time, I'll see you in the next video. It's gonna be all right. You got this.